Oh, I might burp.
You burped?
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 224 of the Gaming Death Podcast. I'm your host Chris. With me tonight, as always, Mr. Kaleb.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Mr. Kaleb.
How's it going?
What's going on, buddy?
Not too much, not too much. You know, same old. Going to Auckland tomorrow, which is exciting and exhausting, but it is what it is.
I'm going to work tomorrow.
You are going to work. I am also going to work. I just have to get on a plane at 11:30 at night and then show up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, New Zealand time. But
When are you going to fly back to the East Coast?
that's a good question, actually. I'm potentially up for a job, and by potentially up for a job, I mean my chances are good, but I still need to interview for it. An internal shift that would let me travel a lot more, so that's the plan, is to hopefully get that, and then hopefully actually be traveling around on business and go to places like New York and Chicago and some of the major cities as necessary.
Yeah, you got to come to New York. You know how close I am to the city.
Yeah, so theoretically, that's when hopefully things would happen. But as of right now, in the immediate vicinity of me and my life, it's mostly work, The Wire, and Destiny when I'm not hanging out with other people. It's pretty much the gist of it. It's probably not too much different for you, I imagine.
It's work,
Besides The Wire.
my wife, because I can't neglect the wife. The wife is the best
I'm
one
not
in
saying
my life. You know that.
I'm not saying you should neglect your wife for The Wire.
No, I'm not
just
going
saying-
to neglect anybody for The Wire. But my wife...
That's probably ideal. I'm just saying it is a thing that has probably been done.
No, my wife is, like, number one priority in life. You know that.
Exactly. I'm just joking.
And Destiny 2. And some Metroid.
And some Metroid, yeah.
Yeah.
You told us all about Metroid last week. How's it going? Have you finished it? How far are you?
I just got to the fourth area. I just got Space Jump.
I don't know much about that particular Metroid, so I don't necessarily have a frame of reference as far as like what that looks like or where that is. But I assume that's decently far just knowing Metroid.
I have 17 total Metroids left to kill.
Okay, and there's like 64 or
Yeah.
200 at the start. Okay.
I think it's 64 at the start.
Okay.
So I'd say I'm like 3/4 of the way through the game.
So, I have a question about this. How does this game flow? Because I feel like the Metroid games are so built around the strength of their bosses. Like, every area you go to is a big lead-in to, like, a massive epic boss. How does that work when you're just hunting, like, 64 of this thing?
They break it up into areas, and every area is filled with poison water until you kill X amount of Metroids.
Okay.
So, like, one of them's, like, because you're collecting their DNA, basically. And so, like, the first area you have to kill 3 of them, and the second area you have to kill like 8 of them, and the third area you have to kill 10 of them, and then it's like, okay, it's time to keep going. So there's different types of Metroids. Like, there's the little guys that are really easy, and you just kind of like shoot them in the stomach. And then there's big guys that shoot fire, and some of them shoot lightning, and some of them shoot ice. And they're hard, but the core of the game, the core of the Metroid game, and where you get all the Metroid feeling is through traversing the level. It's much more Castlevania Symphony of the Night style, where you need these powers to traverse the level more than you need these powers to fight the boss.
Okay. I can see that.
Because the bosses just die to your ice beam, which is like the second upgrade you get in this game.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's second or third upgrade you get in the game.
That's actually surprising, but I guess it makes sense since it's the bane of Metroids that you would just destroy them from the beginning and then be ready to go.
Well, that's the thing. The ice beam, they give you the ice beam early, and they never. The good thing about Metroid is they never like explicitly tell you like, oh, use the ice beam on the Metroids. You just kind of like are trying to fight them and realize, oh shit, Ice Beam just fucking destroys them.
Yeah, it does.
So it's like, alright, that works. Because they give it to you to platform. That's why they give you the Ice Beam early, is to use it to platform. But now I have the space jump, which means that as long as I time my spin jump properly, I can just fly through levels. Like, literally fly. Non-stop jumping. It's quite nice.
That's good. I always like that point of Metroid when you can do that and you're just open. Cool. Sounds pretty good. But,
third best 3DS game in my opinion. If I don't include Pokemon in those.
Third best 3DS. What would the other two be? You might have mentioned this before.
Link's Awakening. Not Link's Awakening.
Link
Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds, yeah.
And Super Mario 3D World.
People talk so much about the Super Mario 3D World and 3D games. I've never actually played any of them, I don't think.
I sent you like a $300 3DS.
You did send me a 3DS. I bought Pokemon for it, and I played for like 8 to 10 hours. I don't even remember. I also don't remember why I stopped playing. I do remember having fun with it.
Yeah, that's like a $300 3DS now, by the way.
I know. It's the special Zelda Triforce edition. Yeah, it's very nice, actually. I should get around to that at some point. When I'm not using my phone on the bus to watch The Wire. But
I also think Ever Oasis is up there, too, on best 3DS games. Ever Oasis is really good.
Oh, the most recent game from the Secret of Mana people?
Yeah, Bravely Default. That's probably my top 5.
It's that good. Yeah. I hadn't heard too much about it other than that people saying it was awesome.
It's amazing.
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind too. But
Dawn even got sucked into it for a while.
Yeah. Oh no, you did tell me about that. You told me that about her getting really into it, and that is cool. I was going to say, but we have some things going on this week besides talking for Destiny.
Yeah, we're going to Boner City.
We're going to Boner City, guys. That's where we're off to. Not Pound Town, not the Boneyard. Boner City. It's very distinct.
Boner City.
Boner City.
Dude, tell me you didn't even sport slight chub when you watched that Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. Lies.
I did it first. The more I saw it, the more questions I had, but we'll have to see when the game comes out. I still have high hopes for it. I have some reservations that we can talk about when we get there. Or we could do it right now, I guess, if you want to talk Red Dead Redemption right away.
I did segue into it.
You did segue into it. Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that happened today.
That happened today.
This morning. It was released after a Twitter teaser 2 days ago, which is kind of horseshit, but I guess how things work these days now. We got a full-on trailer. We got a story trailer. We got some characters. We got some plot.
We know it's a prequel.
We know it's a prequel. We know. I was curious. It is a prequel, but I wonder if John Marston will be in it at all, actually.
End of the game.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, I'm ready to put money down right now that this main character dies.
Oh, without a doubt.
Which is why he is never mentioned, and why John Marston allegedly might not even know him. But they were in the same gang at different times.
I think this is the guy that John Marston talks about being his buddy.
You think so?
That Dutch screwed over originally, which is why he originally left Dutch's gang.
Okay, I haven't played the first one in like 5 years now. I need to get through it again at some point, but I don't remember enough to dispute that because I don't remember the story super well. That seems legitimate. Is his name ever mentioned? The buddy?
No, he's just like, and remember the guy you screwed over? I think in Tulsa, I think is what he says.
Random guy in Tulsa. Well, okay. So we got some stuff laid out. What are you thinking about the world? How big you think this is going to be? Where do you think this is going to be?
Where's the first one take place?
The first one takes place in an area that's kind of supposed to be a combination of like California, Oregon, and Nevada, kinda, plus Mexico part of.
Well, I know Mexico, but I wasn't sure if it was California or not.
Maybe it's a nebulous. Yeah, I think it is supposed to be California, and then like maybe Oregon,
And Oregon?
or maybe just Northern California, I guess. I'm trying to think because you go into a different province allegedly when you go north and you find the forests and everything, the redwood forests.
That could be Northern Cali.
Yeah, I guess it could be. It's at a time before states were a thing allegedly in the West Coast, and they're fictional provinces to begin with. So it's an uneven.
I'm guessing
analogy.
that we're gonna start somewhere east of the Rockies and then end up west of the Rockies.
He talks about being forced over the mountains.
Correct.
So my guess is they're going to try to do like everything west of the Rockies, although not same size, but I'm guessing they're going to try something really big. Just seeing GTA 5.
We know at some point that we go to wherever the hell Bonnie is, because Bonnie is in the trailer.
She is in the trailer, a much younger Bonnie.
A much younger Bonnie. But her husband's already dead.
That's true.
Because that's mentioned in the trailer. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm really excited. Like, it's Red Dead.
I'm excited. I really, obviously, Red Dead, one of my favorite games ever, if not my favorite game. I'm a little worried though. And this is the reservations I spoke about. From what I've seen of GTA 5 story, it's not really very good, and it's almost not that existent. And
GTA 5 story is awesome. What are you talking about?
I've heard like nothing but just like kind of bland things about it, and that it's kind of forgettable. Besides like a few shock moments here and there, and
Trevor saves GTA 5's story.
You think so?
Yeah, without a doubt. That story is very memorable. Like the Michael missions suck. The other guy, Franklin's missions aren't very good. But anytime you have to play as Trevor, it's fucking amazing.
Okay.
Like, go kill drug dealers and hide them in the icebox. That's a mission. That's part of a story. And Lester the Molester is amazing.
Lester the Molester.
Yeah, he's an amazing character. He's like
he actually a molester?
No, anytime anybody's named Lester, I always think Lester the Molester.
Okay.
But my thing is, like, because he's like the Charlie of the Charlie's Angels of Franklin, Michael, and Trevor.
Yeah.
That story's really good.
I'm also worried it might just be another GTA Online that they can profit from, as opposed to being that amazing of a game.
I heard people worrying about this. And here's what I have to say about that. Is GTA 5 is a great single-player game. Yes. GTA Online is fucking amazing. If they can do what they did with GTA 5 with Red Dead Redemption 2, we'll be fine. We're going to get a great single-player story and some of the best multiplayer Western gameplay that we've ever had.
Okay. I'll hold you to that. But I am cautious. As someone who personally has not enjoyed 4 and 5 as much as I think most people have. But we'll see. The first one is obviously still something great to work off of. It looks like they have plenty. I'm not sure how they're going to take the prequel angle or why they specifically chose a prequel angle, but I guess we'll see how that plays out.
Because they were getting too far into technology to make a Western at the end of Red Dead Redemption 1.
I could see that. I was just not surprised, but I could have seen them taking it an entirely different direction with new characters. Even in an earlier setting that may or may not necessarily interact with the last story, but going full on prequel is that works too. It makes sense. It makes sense in a way. I guess we'll see how much more of these characters we have to explore. I feel like most of what had to be said about them was said in Red Dead Redemption, but this is Rockstar, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, watch Red Dead Redemption 2 just shows us that John Marston was a big dick and all this stuff that he was mad at Dutch and them about wasn't really true.
See, that's also possible. It also seems like the main character is just like an irreprehensible dick, which
I'm okay with.
I guess it depends on the story, but like if he's just a dick for the sake of having a character that's a dick without any kind of complexity to it, I'm not a fan of that.
I really hope he's a very strong bad guy. I hope that's what you play in this game, is a very strong bad guy.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't want an anti-hero. I don't want John Marston. John Marston was my anti-hero, and I don't want to play the Sheriff of the West. I want to play the robber in the Cops and Robbers. And just be doing terrible dicky things for the sake of doing terrible dicky things and not trying to redeem myself. Like, every game is all like, oh, well, the unwitting evil or the unwitting enemy that you play as who's actually questing for redemption. And I'd rather just play the bad guy who doesn't give a fuck about redemption.
See, I don't have a problem with that either. I think that would be interesting, as long as there is some kind of character and depth to it. That's really what I want, some kind of complexity from the stories, which, Red Dead Redemption 1 obviously had in spades. But, I mean, I guess they want to just show us that this guy is a huge dick, and we'll see what comes out of your character being a huge dick, whether he's a villain or whatnot. But there's a lot to process. There's a lot to pick up in the trailer. There's a lot to talk about, even if we won't be seeing too much, probably more for another few months, and we won't see the game until March.
No release date. No release date.
No release date.
So
someday.
Spring of 2018 is what we're being told right now.
Someday.
But that's not the only thing that gave me a boner this week.
You're just boners galore this week.
Did you see the Explorer mode for Assassin's Creed Origins?
I did, and I also had reservations, but at the same time, it's very exciting as a prospect. It's very interesting to see them do that. You want to tell us about the Explorer mode, Chris?
So basically, Explorer mode is Assassin's Creed Origins, but they remove all the combat. So you can walk around and explore the open world of Egypt, and they're going to teach you about it.
And they're going to teach you about it with actual historians and archaeologists in, like, voiceovers that you can select and choose to play as you're exploring.
As you're exploring fucking Egypt.
As you're exploring ancient Egypt.
I think that's the raddest fucking thing in the world.
I think I love Assassin's Creed's historical angle. I love these recreations that no one else is really doing in games. It's amazing to see them do this. I hope it's well executed. It sounds like it's gonna be. I'm just Ubi doing things sometimes, so we'll see. But I still have pretty high hopes for that as well. I'm super interested to see what they put together. It sounds massive. It sounds like a really, really unique thing to do for any kind of game.
I think it's gonna be like. Do you remember Unity? When you would scan the things and be like, oh, that's the Palace of Versailles, and it would give you, like, a little historical blurb about it.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're going to do with this, except now they're going to have, like, actual, like, experts on the topic doing voiceovers for that shit in this Explore mode. And that's really sweet tits. Like, I love ancient Egypt. I find it fascinating. So to be able to, like, walk around this ancient Egyptian before the desert had completely taken over and have people talk about, what life was like in ancient Egypt and what this was and what that was, and look at how well recreated Ubisoft always makes their cities. It's just like it's someone who really likes history like myself's wet dream.
Yeah. It's really something. I'm wondering how, like I said, it sounds massive. I'm not sure. I'm wondering how much content they'll actually have, since it sounds like it's going to be a pretty big map. if there's just like hundreds upon hundreds of audio files scattered everywhere, who knows? Like something with as much meat as the campaign, I don't know, but we'll see. Again, a lot of exciting things to hear. Was there a trailer that they released for it?
I don't know if there was a trailer released for it. All I know is that I was reading a news story on GameSpot about it.
Okay. I was reading one on Destructoid. I saw some of the screenshots that were posted, but looked pretty interesting, and showed a lot of things happening from a teaching perspective as this character was walking around. Anything?
What happened?
Anything? Were you looking up a trailer?
No, I'm reading about the weapon balance changes coming to Destiny.
Oh. It's always there, man. It's always there. Destiny. There's always more things to do. But I feel like there were a couple other things that happened this week.
Yeah? What gave you a boner this week?
What gave me a boner this week? Well, I know you have a pretty giant cup-shaped boner for tomorrow.
Oh, yes, I do. It is a cartoony cup-shaped boner for tomorrow.
It's a cartoony cup-shaped boner for those with unique tastes.
Cuphead finally comes out tomorrow.
Cuphead finally comes out tomorrow after like 3-4 years waiting. Do you remember how long it's been since it was announced?
6 years.
Yeah, something like that. This game. It looks really awesome, though. I mean, I don't know if there's much more to say at this point. We'll see. I haven't seen their reviews, so I assume they're going to drop tomorrow with the game, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. The SNES Classic, I don't think it's released yet, but I noticed that reviews were coming out for it.
Uh-huh.
Are you interested in the SNES Classic?
No, because I can buy a Raspberry Pi for $60 and throw all SNES, Sega Genesis, Nintendo, Atari games on it for free. And have like a billion games for less than a Super NES Classic, including Star Fox 2, which has been available online as a ROM forever.
It's been available as an alpha ROM. I don't know if it was a completed game, was it?
Yeah, just the completed game's been out there probably for like 16 years.
Alright, well, it's getting released officially, which is interesting. It's getting actually really good reviews. It sounds like they did a lot better with this one as far as just making it more worth your money, as far as like having two controllers and having a lot of interesting options in changing how the game is viewed and save states and things like that. A lot of little quality of life touches that make some of those games worth it. And apparently a lot of them are really meaty games. Just looking at the list, you've got Final Fantasy 3, you've got Super Mario RPG, you've got Super Mario World,
Link to the Past.
I could see this having a lot of worth for $60, actually. I was looking at it.
$80, though.
Is it $80?
Yeah, it's $79.99.
Well, we'll see if they actually make enough this time.
Well, supposedly they're making a ton of them.
And supposedly they're going to make more NES classics as well.
Coming out next year, yep.
Coming out next year.
That's what they said. They're coming out after January. Yep, after January.
Yeah, I was going to say there's going to be like 12 of them. 12 new ones that you have to buy really quick off Amazon, and that's going to be it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
In all honesty, right now, when it comes to game consoles or anything like that, like, there's the 4 or 5 games that I'm looking forward to, and I want to switch. Like, I love my old games. I still have an SNES and stuff, but I want Nintendo's new thing. That's where I'm at with that.
That's fair enough.
Did you see the? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna jump topics if you're ready.
Yeah.
Have you seen the PlayStation Plus games for next month?
I think. No, I saw an article about them, but I didn't actually see the list. Why? Something particularly special?
It's just the Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain.
Oh yeah, for those people who have not played it,
Don't
Would I
play it.
recommend this game? I don't know if I would recommend this game, actually.
Somebody in one of my Facebook groups was like, alright guys, the Phantom Pain's free next month. Tell me why I should play it. And my response was, don't.
Did you get a lot of heat for that?
No, actually I didn't. Because, everybody was like, oh, it's one of the best stealth action games ever made. And I'm like... And my response would always be, go and play, like, Splinter Cell. Or play the original Metal Gear. Which, even the original Metal Gear, I would never really consider stealth action.
It's pretty arcadey looking back now.
Like, you look back on it and you're like, oh, it's like an arcadey stealth game. Yeah. But I'd be like, go play Splinter Cell. Play, like, the first 3 Splinter Cells on the original Xbox. Those are some of the best stealth action games ever made. But aside from the Phantom Pain, we're also getting Amnesia, both Amnesia: The Dark Descent and A Machine for Pigs. So, like, they're 2 pretty high-profile games.
Yeah, neither of which I'm a big fan of.
Like, I'll play The Dark Descent again, because The Dark Descent's actually really good.
I might touch on the second one just to see it. I know it hasn't obviously gotten the greatest reviews, but as someone who wasn't a big fan of the first one, I'll check out the second just to see, since it is apparently so different.
I'll play The Dark Descent again just because I like The Dark Descent. I really want, like, a survival horror Cthulhu game.
I mean, Call of Cthulhu is coming out next year? Have I shown you the trailers for that, or have you seen them?
I don't think so. But I mean, like, I just really want one where I get to, like, pick a class and, kind of like the Call of Cthulhu board games.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. We could use something new. Horror games haven't... I'm trying to think what came out this year that could be considered horror.
Resident Evil 7?
Huh?
Resident Evil 7?
Resident Evil 7 and maybe Prey.
Yeah, Prey, definitely.
Horror?
I forgot about Prey. Yeah, Prey is very much a horror game.
Okay. I bought Prey. I still haven't played it, actually, now that I think about it.
That game is the game that scared me the most so far this year.
Really?
Because, like, I can only play it in, like, 15 to 20 minute chunks because my anxiety is just so high.
Oh.
It's a fucked up game.
Is it a fucked up game?
Yeah.
I've heard some interesting things about it. I do need to get around to it. I just had other things on my plate recently, and I picked it up like 4 months ago, I think. I'll get there. But, yeah, nothing... I mean, Prey is interesting. It's sort of a reboot, not really. Totally different game with the same name. Resident Evil 7, it's obviously the 7th. We've talked about this before. Not a whole lot of new horror games coming out, but that's why Evil Within 2 is interesting and something to be excited about.
We don't get new IPs at all, though. That's the thing. Like, think about what we've played this year.
Neo, actually.
That's one.
That was one of the first ones.
Give me another new IP we played this year.
I'm trying to think. Destiny 2, maybe it should
be not a new IP. It's not a new IP.
Maybe
it's a sequel.
Maybe Destiny 1 should be downgraded to rough draft.
But
maybe
it's not.
We should talk about that. Maybe we should talk about that publicly. No, it's not. I'm just being facetious. I'm trying to think. I don't know if you'd call Praise technically something new, since it was...
It's a reboot.
It's technically a reboot, which has really nothing to do with the first one at all, I think.
Well, that's the same shit with Resident Evil 7.
That's true. But apparently Chris Redfield appeared, and he may or may not be the Chris Redfield. I guess we'll see when the Naughty Hero deal.
We have no idea. We have no idea where this... Because the only link between Resident Evil 7 and the main game, besides like little Easter eggs, if you don't know your Resident Evil history and what the hell's going on in the overarching Resident Evil storyline, you would never pick up on them. But aside from little tidbits here and there, the only thing connecting the Resident Evil series and Resident Evil 7 is that Chris Redfield cameo at the end.
And still really curious to see where that goes. But December. We'll see. What else have we played this year that was a new IP? Zero Dawn. Horizon. Was that this year or late last year?
I thought that was late last year. No, that was this year.
February. It was February.
Yeah, because it came out the same time as Zelda.
Yeah, it was like a week before.
Yeah, it was 2 days. Horizon came out 2 days before Zelda.
Oh, wow. Okay. No, that's right. Zelda was a Friday. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Horizon Zero Dawn. We got Neo. Not Persona 5. Can you think of any?
No.
Destiny 2.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we're not playing a ton, obviously. That's just...
They're not coming out.
Right. I'm trying to think of what... I feel like we've had a couple good indie games. Well, here, let me jump onto my dashboard and see what I've been playing. A lot of Dark Souls 3. Yeah, Neo and Horizon Zero Dawn are honestly the only two I can think of off the top of my head.
Like, I'm now scrolling through the wiki to be like, what did I play this year?
Yeah.
And I'm looking and I'm like, nope, that was a sequel. Okay, Horizon Zero Dawn, that was February. Yep, I played that. Okay.
Neo was January, actually.
Yep, Neo was January.
January, February, and...
Mass Effect. No, Mass Effect Andromeda is the fourth game. Nier Automata is the sequel.
Nier Automata is technically a sequel, yeah.
Persona 5. No, that's the sequel.
It's definitely a sequel.
Yeah, I'm going through here and I'm like, I'm just looking at the overall list. And it's all, everything has a number at the end of it. Outlast 2, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, Dragon Quest Heroes 2, Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 3, Mario Kart 8, The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the third.
The third.
You know, it's like Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Injustice 2.
Injustice 2, yeah. That's still sitting on my dashboard.
You know, there's nothing. Friday the 13th. That's a new IP. I played that.
That was the Kickstarter one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, I played
and
that.
that was good.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was all right.
It's been out for a few months. I was wondering if it still had a community or if there were any changes happening to it.
It's good. It still has a decent community. There's a lot of bugs in it, which is why I stopped playing. There was a way to knock Jason into the air, and then he would just stay up there, and everybody would just win.
That's a terrible bug.
Yeah, it was terrible. That's why I stopped playing.
Oh, jeez.
Arms is a new IP.
Arms is a new IP. It's doing okay from what I hear.
Ever Oasis is also a new IP.
Ever Oasis is a new IP for 3DS.
Yep. Nope, that's Final Fantasy 12. That's a re-release. Splatoon, nope, that's 2. Oh, Pyre. Pyre is a new IP.
Yeah, that's super good at games. They're good for it.
They're always good for it.
They're always good for it.
Did you play, Pyre?
I have not. I've not played Pyre, honestly.
Holy
and
shit.
I feel a little bad about it. But I still don't know very much about it besides what you've told me. I haven't really looked at screenshots or anything because I will play it at some point. I just haven't...
Stop playing Destiny. Play Pyre.
But I gotta do my weeklies.
Agents of Mayhem, I don't know if we'd consider that a new IP or not.
That's technically like a reboot of the...
it's not even a reboot. It's an offshoot.
It's a spin-off.
Yeah, it's a spin-off. And supposedly it didn't sell well, and now they're doing layoffs.
Oh, okay. I guess it didn't do as good as I thought. I thought it did okay, but not amazing. But maybe that was... I mean, these days with the industry, maybe that alone was bad.
Would you consider Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle a new IP? I know we'll see a sequel to that.
That's actually a tough one. Technically, no, even if it's like a new type of game.
Right, there's never been a Mario Rabbids game before, and it's a tactical RPG, like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Or XCOM, but not as hard. Maybe I would. I don't know.
I think I would.
To Nintendo. Yeah.
I think I would. I'm up to September. I'm up to the 19th. SteamWorld Dig 2 came out. I want to play that, but it's only on the Switch.
It's only on the Switch.
Yeah.
There's apparently some pretty good indies on the Switch.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of really good indies. SteamWorld Dig. Oh no, it came out on PS4. It came out on the 26th for PS4.
There you go.
Oh, gotta play that.
All good.
Cuphead's a new IP. That comes out tomorrow.
Cuphead's a new IP. That does come out tomorrow.
Same thing with Star Fox 2.
Same thing with Star Fox. Star Fox 2. Does the SNES Classic come out tomorrow then officially?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I haven't paid much attention because I didn't assume that I was going to get one anyway for a long time if I did.
Supposedly GameStop it will have copies to sell people.
Okay.
Alright, Super Mario Odyssey, is that a new IP?
It's Mario.
It's Mario, you can't, right? It's just new Mario.
It's just new Mario. Is Link to the is Breath of the Wild a new IP?
No, well, I had to ask.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking.
That's it. That's like
it.
anything that's even slightly interesting. That's it. That's all the new IPs this year.
What a great industry we have right now. I mean, I say that, but we have been playing a lot of really good games, and there have been a lot of really good games releasing, even if they aren't always as original as we might like them to be sometimes with the state of things.
Right.
But it is what it is. What else is going on this week? I feel like there might have been one or two more small things, but can't quite remember.
Nothing really. Like, that's really all that's really going on.
Lawbreakers is running a free weekend on Steam, so if you guys want to check out Lawbreakers for whatever reason, go ahead and do that. Have you heard about Lawbreakers?
Is that what's his name's answer
Cliffy B
to Overwatch?
Sort of. Apparently, according to reviews, it has its own flair and its own style and its own feel to movement and to gameplay. It's actually supposed to be pretty good. I'm just not sure that many people know about it or are playing it. But that's, I mean, going up against Blizzard, it's the way the cookie crumbles.
Well, that was like Fortnite came out, and when that game was first announced, it looked really good. It looked like you were kids building a treehouse to stop these waves of zombies. And then it came out, and you're no longer kids. You're just adults building fortresses to stop waves of zombies. And I was oh.
Did that officially come out? Or
yeah, that's out. That's been out for like probably a month now.
Oh, I didn't even know that came out either. I assumed it was going to be a mostly PC affair. But I might have to check. I heard that the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds guy was talking shit about them.
Yeah, because they have a version that's like PUBG.
In that it's just a giant open world with a lot of people shooting each other?
Yeah, pretty much. And the PUBG guy got pissed and was like, "Oh, you're ripping us off. Thanks, Thanks, asshole." But it had like, I think it said it had like 50,000 players playing the free Fortnite PlayerUnknown Battleground version of Fortnite over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty good. That's
pretty solid. Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's going to do it, though. We're going to do a shorter episode tonight, so it's basically so me and Caleb can go run the Nightfall, just to let everybody know.
Destiny's sinking its hooks in bed, guys. It's this game. I'm still shocked that this is so much better. 50 hours in, but this is so much better than the first one. But it's good. It's a lot of fun if you have friends playing.
Remember, guys, if you guys want to get in touch with us, you can send us an email to podcast@gamingdeath.com. You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/gamingdeath. Remember to head over to our mothership site, which is geekyannex.net, for more great podcasts just like this one, like Horseplay Live. It's a great show run by the podfather himself, Yogizilla. Remember to like and subscribe, comment, review us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Just leave us a little review. We appreciate it, guys. But I think that's going to do it for tonight. I'm Chris.
I'm Kyle.
Have a good night, everybody.
Night, guys.
All right, YouTube. Have a good night.
Night, guys.